What is going on, YouTube? This is I'm here with the Week 1 match for the Sun Draft League Season 1. Um, I'm sorry for the late upload with this. I've been trying to upload this video, well, let alone record it, for a few weeks now. And I've been having difficulty. The old software I was using kept crashing on me, so I'm trying out a new one. And this is my second time recording with this software. I've used it once before for school and haven't used it since. So trying to get a handle on things. Thank you guys for being patient with me. So let's just get right up into the match here. We're facing Sonic Slasher and his bigger Blazikins. His team consists of Blacephalon, Toxapex, Donphan, Zoroark, Swallow, Cryogonal, Mega Gardevoir, Ferrothorn, Raikou, Chinchino, and Scrafty. You might be wondering why I said Mega Gardevoir and Gallade when he has Mega Altaria and Gallade, not Scrafty. Gallade rather than Mega Gardevoir and Scrafty. And the reason I said that is because he made two transactions for week 3, which were for Mega Altaria and for Gallade. So, and he also has the Dark Indian Z, primarily for Zoroark, but I guess Blacephalon with Dark Pulse. But he has very few things that can abuse it. Like, I mean, to be fair, most teams only have one Mon that's really going to abuse the Z move. But moving on. So the team I thought he would bring was Blacephalon, Toxapex, Mega Gardevoir, Ferrothorn, Raikou, and Chinchino. I thought that he could bring Donphan or Swallow over the Raikou, but I thought the other 5 were pretty safe. Sorry, just needed to do something. So I thought here that there were some things that he could do, as far as Mons go. I was really, fearful of, like, Specs Blacephalon, because while I have a Lego which kind of forces him to run Scarf Blacephalon, I felt as though he could run Timid Specs as, say, a Revenge Killer or a Breaker for Mega Gardevoir, which doesn't make sense because usually most Ultra Beast are used primarily for cleaning, as far as mons like Kartana, Nihilego, Blacephalon go. I know that Buzzwole and some of the other ones are different, but that's besides the point. Toxapex and Ferrothorn gave him good defensive mons. Chinchino and the Gardevoir, good pairing mons with Blacephalon. And then Raikou, I thought he could do some shenanigans with that, like Sub-Calm Mind, or he could bring the shiny Rash event Raikou with Aura Sphere, Thunderbolt, and then Hidden Power Ice or Fire. Not Hidden Power Ice, Hidden Power Grass or Fire with Calm Mind. So, I don't know. So, team that I ended up bringing, first off, we've got Licky Licky, with Leftovers, Oblivious, Max HP, Max Def, Careful, with Wish, Protect, Knockoff, Seismic Toss. This set is pretty self-explanatory. It's there mainly as a secondary, like Gardevoir check, a secondary Blacephalon check, Raikou check. So it's a my primary Swallow check. It just checks his team specially really well. Wish Protect, Wish Passing is very important in draft. It's like, if you are, like, Draft Leagues 101, it's like one of the things you should always draft, along with the Firewater Grass Core and the Fairy Dragon Steel Core, and also, in my opinion, the Fighting Dark Psychic Core, but that's just me. So, pretty self-explanatory set. Knockoff is there to, like, hit the Blacephalon hard, as well as get rid of any items, and get rid of that BS. Seismic Toss is there because it was my best way to hit the Ferrothorn and the Toxapex for a relatively similar amount of damage, depending on the sets. Seismitoad here with the Rindoberry, Water Absorb, max HP, 200 in defense, and then 56 in Spadef with the Sassy Nature, Stealth Rocks, Toxic, Earthquake, Scald. This was to deal with This was like a tertiary way of dealing with Cephalon. This is my primary check to Raikou, as well as my primary check to Scrafty, in case you wanted to bring it. Even though I thought that was kind of unlikely. Stealth is there to get damage off from Swellow, Cryogonal, Cephalon, along with Chip against everything else toxic there. Pretty much the same reason for Rocks, except long-term Chip on everything, bar the Toxapex and Ferrothorn. And then Earthquake and Skull stab, and they hit his team pretty hard across the board. Next we have Incineroar, Assault Vest, Intimidate, 76 HP, max attack, 4 defense, 12 in speed def, and 164 in speed with the Jolly Nature, Knockoff, Flare Blitz, U-Turn, Earthquake. This is my primary Blacephalon counter. Guaranteed knocks out with Knockoff or with Earthquake. U-Turn is there for pivot, Flare Blitz is to pressure out the Ferrothorn. Once again, pretty self-explanatory. Mega Scizor, 232 HP, max speed def, 24 in attack, with the Careful Nature, Bullet Punch, U-Turn, Roost, Superpower. Superpower is there for the Ferrothorn, nothing else. Roost is there for HP recovery, Bullet Punch is there to deal with Mega Gardevoir, and just because it's Bullet Punch, it's boosted by Technician, it's Stab, it's priority, can't really go wrong with it. And then U-Turn I have for Pivot Initiative into my main breaker for this match, as well as my cleaner and slash late game win con. I originally had a knockoff, but I got the suggestion to switch it to U-Turn. So that's what I did. Next we have Nihilego with the Choice Scarf, max special attack, max speed, timid nature, power gem, thunderbolt, sludge wave, grass knot. Power gem is there for the Swellow and the Blacephalon. Stab hits his team pretty hard. Thunderbolt is there for the Toxapex. Sludge wave is there, stab, and it hits Mega Gardevoir hard. Pretty much kills it every time, unless he's max HP, max speed def. Careful or calm nature. You went on careful on Mega Gardevoir. Grass knot is there for the Donphan. And then Kieran Black with the ICMC, 8 in HP, max attack, 4 in speed def, 4 in special attack, and 240 in speed with hasty nature, fusion bolt, iron head, free shock, and power fire. This was to so ICMZ broke through his entire team. Ferrothorn is the only real thing that can safely come in on an ICMZ, because it can take an ICMZ into a hidden power fire most of the time, depending on its bulk investments and in what defense it's primarily invested in. So that all is iffy on that end. ICMZ, fantastic way to break through his team, because the only other mon that lived an ICMZ on his team was Toxapex, and Toxapex dies to a fusion bolt the following turn. Ironhead is there for Mega Gardevoir in case you wanted to run max HP and max special attack Mega Gardevoir, or if you wanted to run modest Mega Gardevoir, because that speed investment always outspeeds a modest Mega Gardevoir no matter what speed it's running. And then Hidden Power Fire is there for the Ferrothorn. So, all in all, pretty simple. So he brings the team I was expecting, but he brings Raikou instead. He brings Donphan instead of the Raikou, which I was fine with. Just something for Kieran Black to kill, since I'm not running the Ice Beam. So, Mega Scizor going into this, I was pretty sure that it was going to be my lead. With this team, I knew it was going to be my lead 100%, because it was probably either leading with Chinchino or the Ferrothorn. I doubted he would lead with Blacephalon. So, lead off with Mega Scizor here as he leads with the Chinchino. And I go for the Bullet Punch because I'm expecting him to U-turn out. If he wants to hit him Power Fire, it's not going to kill, and 2 Bullet Punches kill it. As he just U-turns out into his Blacephalon here, as I go into my Incineroar, which is my primary counter to it. As he goes for Flamethrower, which reveals that this is Scarfed, as he goes into his Toxapex as I knock it off. So, I did want to mention that this damage showed me that this was a Spadef Toxapex, The damage from the Cinccino and from the Blacephalon showed me that they were both timid. No, it was Jolly Scarf Cinccino and Timid Scarf Blacephalon. So here I just U-turn out into my Kieran Black because it's a free switch into Kieran Black. Like there's no downside. He recovers here, and I just go for the Fusion Bolt. He brings in Donphan, and I see no downside to just I see him Zing here, so that's what I do. And I get rid of the Donphan then and there. He brings in his Cinccino. I switch out into my Mega Scizor because this thing walls Cinccino for days. So here I go for the Roost, and here I U-turn out. And he shows to be max physically defensive with Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet. Bring in my Incineroar as he sets up his rocks, which are annoying, but I didn't think that they would matter too much. As I U-turn out here, once again, back into the Kieran Black. So here, without his ground immunity, Fusion Bolt is free. And here, make a pretty risky play. He had one of two options here. A, he Gyro Balls and hit something hard, or B, he Leech Seeds to get HP back on my assuming switch out, because he knows that, because I know and he know that, I mean, we both know that Hidden Power Fire never kills this thing, so, especially at this range. So my guess is that he was expecting me to want to preserve my Kieran Black to switch out, and switch out as a result, and he would Leech Seed, and so that's what I assumed that he would play, the play he would make. So, I go for the Hidden Power Fire here, and he goes for the Leech Seed, misses it, which doesn't do anything in the long run of the game. I'm just going to point that out now. As he switches back into his Blacephalon as I go for another Hidden Power Fire, because I know a Fusion Bolt has a chance of not killing, and that's a chance I didn't really want to risk. But this Blacephalon never kills my Kieran Black since he's Scarfed Timid, unless he's running Mind Blown, which I didn't really see him bringing, because you don't really see Mind Blown on Blacephalon too much in draft format, especially Gen 7, so go for the Fusion Bolt here. As he goes for the Shadow Ball, doesn't kill, Fusion Bolt kills this thing. He brings in his Gardevoir here, and at this point I was thinking, yeah, Kieran Black still pressures his entire team, but I did want to know what kind of set his Mega Gardevoir was, because this was the only thing whose set I hadn't been able to decipher anything about. And so if he was max HP, max special attack modest, I would be able to find out here based off the damage of the Iron Head. If he was max speed modest Mega Gardevoir, he would just straight up die. And if he was max speed timid, then I would lose Kieran Black. And at this point, I thought that that would be worth it to get intel on this Mega Gardevoir set. So he does reveal to be max speed timid. And looking back at this, I really misplayed hard here, because I had all the forward momentum. I could have easily switched into my Mega Scizor here in order to pressure things later on in the match with Kieran Black, or to use it as a sack later on. So I thought, looking back, that wasn't my brightest idea, but I thought that it would be my best. I mean, there was also the possibility that he could have gone for like a Hidden Power Fire, expecting me to go into my Mega Scizor. So I bring in my Licky here, because I didn't want to risk him, Hidden Power Firing my Mega Scizor. So I just start to Seismic Toss his Toxapex as he sets up his T-Spikes. I switch to my Mega Scizor in order to get my HP pack on it. As he goes for a Scald here with Toxapex, I U-turn out, get rid of the Ferrothorn with my Mega Scizor, and here I go into my Seismitoad. I don't really remember why I went into my Seismitoad, but he brings in his Cinccino here, and I bring my Mega Scizor back in, as he goes for the Bullet Seed, and we eat it up, because Bullet Seed isn't doing squat when it is 4 times resisted by a super bulky mod. So here I roost back up, and I U-turn out. I was expecting him to Scald here, so I go into my Seismitoad here, because I was expecting him to fish for the Scald Burn. And here is what I call Earthquake Stall. So I go for the Earthquake and he keeps recovering. I get up my rocks here because I didn't think that there was a downside to not getting him up. And so at this point I was annoyed at first, but then I realized that I was wasting his recovers, and that would be good for me in the long run, because without Hero Black to pressure it offensively, I would have a difficult time breaking through it. So here I go into my Nihilego to soak up the T-Spikes. I double back into my Mega Scizor. I U-turn out into Incineroar here because I know I can soak up 2 Scalds. So here I go for an Earthquake, and this puts him into a position where he either is forced to sack off Toxapex or Chinchino. And I think Earthquake actually killed a non-bulk invested Mega Gardevoir. Check in the comments and tell me if I'm wrong, because I don't remember. Like I said, this match was played a few weeks ago, so I don't remember all the calcs, but I knew that at most he'd be taking upwards of 50% from an Earthquake with Mega Gardevoir, which would be bad for him in the late game, because it just made him more susceptible to Nihilego. So he's in a position where he's forced to either sack one of his Mons, or he's forced to take a lot of damage on the Mega Gardevoir. And here he makes the smart play, and he sacks off the Chinchino because it doesn't pressure anything on my team anymore. So goes into Mega Gardevoir here. There's no reason in preserving Incineroar. As I go into my Mega Scizor here, I go for the Bullet Punch, expecting. So I thought that he would expect me to like roost or to U-turn out, and I was expecting him to go for the Hidden Power Fire on that thing. And so here I roost, once again risking him going for Scald and burning me. But here I U-turn out right back into my Licky Licky, and here I just start to Seismic Toss in order to slowly reduce the number of recovers he has and to weaken him. Because since he doesn't have the, since he lacks the Black Sledge, I know I can win this battle over time, because he's not getting residual HP back passively. So we just keep going for the Seismic Toss here, as he keeps going for Scalds, keeps fishing for the burns. And so here, I get him down really low, and he's placed in a bad position. So here, he doubles into his Mega Gardevoir as I go for Seismic Toss. And so I go for a Protect on this turn to scout out what moves he has, whether or not he has the Focus Blast or not. And he does. So here, I make a pretty risky play. I decide to double into my Nihilego, because I can take a Focus Blast, and if he wanted to predict Mega Scizor coming in, I could take a Hidden Power Fire. And that was a pretty risky play, but I knew that this was the end, like right here was the end game that I had been trying to set up from the start of the match, where Toxapex was weak, and Mega Gardevoir was also weak, to where Thunderbolt could kill both of them. And if I made the wrong prediction on that end, then I could continue to use Licky Licky to wall and win the game that way. Because I could go into Mega Scizor, U-turn, and go back into my Licky Licky, and so on and so forth. So I double into my Nihilego here, take the Focus Blast, and at this point, I know he's expecting me to Sludge Wave, because that would be the safe play, to just attack what's right in front of me, and he knows that then he can recover freely with Toxapex, and I'm right back where I started pretty much. So I go for the Thunderbolt here, expecting him to go into Toxapex, because since he's below, I believe, 75% or 80%, 75% I believe, this is a Thunderbolt is a guarantee to a KO. No, because he's below 85%, Thunderbolt is a guaranteed to a KO on this Toxapex. And so he doubles back into his Mega Gardevoir, but that Snowfox chip puts it into a position where Thunderbolt can just OHKO it Um, two Thunderbolts would have killed Mega Gardevoir there anyways. And so at this point, um, and +1 Thunderbolt kills the Toxapex, and that's the game. So GG to my man Sonic. Good match. Once again, sorry for getting this game up late, and sorry for the throughout the game. So I'm gonna try to record my week 2 match at some point this week, but that's yet to be determined as to when I'm going to record it and when I'm going to upload it. So until then, um, stay healthy, keep loving Pokemon, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.